We left off yesterday with the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob living in Egypt under a king who feared their growing numbers. That got us to about verse 10 of the first chapter. Now, if we continue reading this chapter, we see that Pharaoh's initial solution to the problem is to literally work these people to death, building entire cities. But these Israelites, who had adopted their name from the name that was given to Jacob, swelled in number. The more they grew, the heavier the burden the Egyptians placed on them. And this is where chapter 1 takes a bleak turn, just in case slavery itself was not bleak enough. Starting in verse 15. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shiphrah and the other Puah, "When you serve as midwife to the Hebrew women and see them on the birthstone, if it is a son, you shall kill him. But if it is a daughter, you shall let her live." This is the solution of the Egyptians. Cut the line of Abraham off by preventing future generations. Now, these midwives don't comply. We're told that they feared God and claimed that they could not arrive before the children were delivered and safe in the arms of their mothers. In a bit of a rage about this, Pharaoh then issued a decree, not just to the midwives, but to all of his people. "Every son that is born to the Hebrews you shall cast into the Nile, but you shall let every daughter live." Now, he's given permission to every person of Egypt, empowered them to eradicate the Israelite children, not because Israel has ever proven to be a threat, but because the king believed that they could be a threat someday. Why? Because they're not Egyptian, because they're foreigners. His solution is to keep them in their place as slaves and to build his nation on them while also dehumanizing them and murdering their children. These are the tools of oppressors, and they're the tools that have been used over and over again in human history. Enslavement and dehumanization. Casting people as the other out of fear. A desire to maintain control, even and especially at the cost of human life. And why do these themes recur in history? Because they're powerful tools in the hands of the spiritual forces of darkness. The devaluing of human life is Satan's primary way of debasing the image bearers of God. God created humanity in his image. We're told that in Genesis. But Satan spends a great deal of time undermining that reality to get us to devalue others. And if we reject God's image in others, we are only one step away from rejecting that image in ourselves, and therefore rejecting God entirely. I love you. And today I pray that you would see others for what they are, image bearers of God. No matter how different they might be from you, there is truth about God revealed in their face. If we cannot love those we see who bear the image of God, we cannot love God who is unseen. Love God's image bearers well today.